Hi and welcome back to another episode of Bolter and Brush. I'm Jonas Jackson and today I'm going to be showing you my painted army collection. So as you can see on the table here, I've got my Imperial Knights, which I've just recently painted. I haven't quite finished them yet. I still need to do the transfers and actually attach them to the base because they're still a little bit loose. But I'll show you those properly in a moment. I've also got my two armigers as well, the Warglaves. And both of these knights are the Dominus class. One is a Valiant and the other is a Castellan. Valiant and Castellan. I'll get it right in the end. The main amount of painting that I have done is my Deathwatch army. Now I particularly chose to paint them in Deathwatch colours or scheme, just because you get so much more variety. I love the heraldry that's on their left shoulder pads, especially with the engravings that they have, but also as well because you get to draw from so many different chapters. It basically makes them out to be the elites, and they also have access to specialist firepower as well. But what we'll do is we'll look into that properly in another episode when I show you how I structure my Deathwatch army. So today we're just going to look at the individual models, and I'll do some close-ups of these as I go through, if I can. So this one is my ATV. I'll show you another image of it up in the corner here. I painted it very simply. I just wanted a bit of fast attack in my army, and I really like the model. It's kind of cool. Did have a couple of issues with actually some of the bits didn't go together properly, but I've used some green stuff to fill in the gaps, and it's really easy to paint over once obviously it's set. Just make sure you do all this before you prime it. Don't forget to cut off the mold lines as well. I used to make that mistake in the past, but obviously as time develops you pick up new tricks and your models just start looking better. I've got my Redemptor Dreadnought over here. I've chosen to arm it with a plasma incinerator, I think is what it is. I might be mistaken. And I've got a flamer on the fist attachment, which is really cool. I just really like it. Again, really simply painted. More so just because I wanted to get into gaming, and also obviously as you've seen already, I've got a massive pile of shame for my Warhammer hobby. So I definitely need to start getting through that as soon as possible. I don't know if you can see all of it, and I will pull it back a little bit. I have painted a lot of scenery pieces before as well, but these are actually my main pieces that I've got for my armies. I've got a few Grey Knights in the front here. This is actually one of my oldest. I painted this when I was 13. Brother Captain Stern, I think is what his name is. Really enjoyed painting it. I did come out of the hobby for about 15, 16 years. And one of my first armies back then was Space Wolves 13th Company, and I think I was one of the first people to have a full army to play with, and that was for the Eye of Terror campaign. So this is a mix of different boxes that I've got. I think most of it comes from the Indomitors box that got released a little while back. I say a little while back, about a year and a half ago. So I've got some Inceptors at the back. Not my favourite models, I must admit, and I don't particularly like the flight stands. Hoping to get those changed soon. But again, very simply painted. Obviously, as time goes on, I intend to paint them better, but it's more to get them on the tabletop to begin with. And I've got some different characters and things, like the Blade Guard veterans. I really like these. This is an absolutely awesome set of models. These are the push fit ones, I believe, from the box. I might actually buy some separate ones. I particularly like this captain actually. I think he looks awesome, especially with the skeleton on his shield. Again, I'll show you some more pictures of these as well. And I think there was another box set before. Oh yeah, Dark Imperium. So this is actually what the Inceptors are from. I think it's what actually launched the Primaris range. I've got a lot of Intercessors. Got some Hellblasters as well. A company standard bearer, a captain of Phobos armor, I think. Is it Phobos? No, Gravis armor. I really like this model actually. It's one of the first poses I really enjoyed of the new range. A little bit clunky, must admit, but I really like the Primaris or true scale Space Marines. They just look so much better, in my personal opinion. I know that there's plenty of you guys and girls out there that really enjoy the firstborn Space Marines, and I'm glad that they've updated them to give them more wounds and better characteristics in the FAQs and also the codexes, because they needed that anyway. I mean, comparing them to Imperial Guard before was not exactly accurate. I had the name of this. I think, oh, this is a Judicar, I believe. I really like this model, and I've tried to paint the time, I don't know, the egg timer on the front, for lack of a better word, like hourglass, to give it a bit of a glow. I really like it. I did struggle with the power sword, I must admit. Like, I've painted a few power swords in the past, but for some reason this one in particular escaped me, and I feel like I messed it up a little bit. But yeah, there's so many different models in this, and I feel with the personalization that you can give with Deathwatch models, you can make each one kind of feel a little bit more like a character, because they bring a bit of their personality across from their individual chapters. Particularly like this one, which is a Primaris Lieutenant from the Indomitors box. Again, I'll show you that in closer detail in a minute. But like, this is one of my favourite ones. I really enjoyed painting the power sword on this. The pose is pretty cool as well. He just stands out, which is nice. And what's this one? I think this was one of the commemorative captains or lieutenants that came out with a 500 store opening. But what I've done is I've just changed the shoulder pad to Deathwatch, but otherwise they're all pretty customizable. I was originally going to take the helmet off and give him a shield, because I thought that would have looked quite cool, but in the end, for ease and convenience, I actually painted it as is. And I really like how it turned out, in all honesty. Then you've got some infiltrators, I think these are, and I painted them in very simple schemes. I mean, I strayed away from black armor and decided to go with like a subdued red, which I really like on those. Particularly like painting the smoke grenade that came off of this one, although I don't actually know if Space Marines use smoke grenades, but hey ho. And then this one I tried to keep very simple, like more of a tactical armor, more grey than black, and then it's got some red markings on there as well. But again, I'll show you this closer, because I understand that you probably can't see this close, but I wanted to try and keep everything in shot for you. And yeah, no, I just really enjoy painting this. I think this is one of my more recent models. Again, I'll show you. In actual fact, I didn't actually finish him. I based him for some reason and didn't actually finish the model, but at least he's ready to play with. This is the thing, like, the whole idea behind me painting these in such a fast manner was just so that I could get to playing them. It had been, I don't know, 15, 16 years since I'd last played. And actually a friend took me back into Games Workshop, also known as the Warhammer store, and they were like, oh, Kill Team's just come out. So this was about 3 years ago. I think it had been out for a little bit longer, but they were like, Kill Team was great. You can play in like 40 minutes or less. And you just play with a squad of miniatures, and it's just so much nicer. I really enjoy it. I mean, I like the larger scale of Warhammer 40k, but I do like the individual kind of, you can get into the nitty gritty of the narrative play with Kill Team, because each of them, you give them all individual names. There's not so many models, so you don't get bogged down with remembering, oh, that one's Bob, that one's Clive, you know. You don't have to struggle too much. But I'm really looking forward to getting to use these. So in my next video, what I'll show you is how I'm going to structure this into a usable army. I've got a lot of other models that I need to paint as well, which will be incorporated as I go along, but for now I just need to get them built and painted, or at least that's the struggle for me at the moment, and then hopefully I can get to playing. I think my nearest one is the Warhammer Gaming Guild in London. Really looking forward to going down there if I get the chance to do so. My workload can be quite busy sometimes. Thank you so much for having spent the time to have a look at my painted models with me. I hope that they've offered you a little bit of inspiration. I certainly feel more inspired to do some more painting, and I definitely need to get onto that as soon as possible. Hopefully I can paint a few tonight. I hope you liked my knights. Maybe if you've got some suggestions on another one. I've also got to paint the Titanicus Warmaster Heavy Battle Titan with plasma incinerators? No, plasma destructors. So that should be quite a good build. I bought it for the stature because it's similar in height to these Dominus class ones. So it looked quite good on my shelf. But if you've got any suggestions on colour schemes perhaps that I could paint it in, or just general comments are always welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, definitely comment, and please share with your friends. And until next time, happy painting.